cool things.
Dad, can you see my knees? Dad, can you see my knees?
No. Want to see my...
Hey guys, welcome back. So, are your kids this way? My kids love school. Like, we literally just ended our school year right before I left on my trip, and they're like, Mom, when can we start school? So, welcome to our crazy homeschool room. Oh, he wants to show you. Lego.
And it can do cool actions. That does that.
So a couple of years ago, because our summers get so hot, we can't really work outside a lot, and by the middle of July, the kids and I were just going crazy. Like, the homestead is, you know, the garden is not quite ready to harvest like crazy or anything. There's a little bit of canning going on, but not like the major harvest canning or anything. So I just decided, you know what, we're gonna do year-round school. So we choose to take our breaks. Like, if we want a day off, we take a day off. Instead of having like a big, long week or two vacation, a lot of times in December, we just do like a lot of crafting, and I try to get the kids involved in gift giving. And so we spend most of December off, but because we don't take off the entire summer, it works good for us. So yesterday we had to clear this bookshelf off. This is where we keep all of our homeschool books that we're using for the year. So we cleared it all off because the kids had dropped stuff. The backing came off, so half their little math blocks and things that we use for math manipulatives, they fell behind there, and like markers. So I like to make school as enjoyable a place to be. We don't always sit up here, but we do use this whiteboard a significant amount for one of our curriculums that we always use. Yes. I am learning that as my kids, especially my daughter, gets older, they like to help organize. So I'm learning to let them and to let go of control, which is always exciting. This is how excited Maggie is to do school. So what I'm doing right now is I basically just pulled everything off that shelf. That's all the stuff that we used last year. And then I'm only going to put the things back on the shelf that we're planning on using. We are choosing a different curriculum this year. We've done it before. And I got to pick it up from a friend. I'm going to borrow it. And then I have ordered all our other stuff. So that's going to be in the mail in the coming weeks. And as soon as I get everything in, we'll get started. And I'll take you guys along for that. If you're interested in homeschooling at all, let me know, especially down in the comments. If you're choosing your own curriculum for this year, I would love to know what you guys are using. If there's anything fun, especially Homestead related, let me know. Yeah, we dry our laundry in here. My laundry. It's the only place we have. Yeah, so we're gonna work on cleaning this place up and erasing the board, and that's kind of my notes on what I'm planning on using.
A new store year.
I'll take you guys along for our official first day. I like to wrap up a few things for the kids and just make it really special for them. It's never an actual official first day. She just can't help herself. She's so excited. Okay, I'm gonna hang out with her and let her do stuff. I can't film and hang out with her and drink tea and clean all at the same time. So I'm gonna get this room transformed a little bit, pull some stuff out. Plus we have things in the craft room, and I'll take you guys along for the things that we decide, and I'll show you the setting up. Whew, oh man, you guys. Okay, I just worked on that for like 2 or 3 hours. That was a long time. At least now the shelf is full. Since we don't do like a new school year every year, we just have like our normal revolving stuff. And then at least the bases for our very first unit study is set up kind of thing. But I won't decorate until the night before our first day of school because I like it to be a surprise for the kids. But at least everything is all blank and ready to go. And when I get it to this point, because usually we wait another month at least to start school, but the kids are just so ready, even though I think they've only had 2 weeks off. We've had a lot of rain in our area, so I think that has to do with why they're so ready. But anyway, normally I just clear out their school books and put new summer stuff, like fun things, on the shelf and let them color all over the stuff. But then when we're getting ready for doing the school year, I kick them out of the schoolroom. They're not allowed to do that anymore. So this is ready. So we also have school stuff over here on the other side. By the chimney, I always keep things that are leaving. So I did get a whole bunch of stuff like curriculum I want to get rid of. So that's out of here, and that shelf is just set up. So I'll tell you guys, I'll take you along when I actually get everything in the mail. I did order, I think, just about everything I want for the year. I mean, not for the year, but for the beginning of the year, I got everything ordered today. And then when it all comes in, I will go through that with you guys and show you. So if you're homeschooling, leave it down in the comments. I would love to know what you guys are planning. When do you do your homeschool planning? Normally I do mine in the spring before the next year. This year, so we technically are a little bit late, but I kind of already had an idea about halfway through the school year what I wanted to do this year. So I'm glad it's going to work out. I have a few more things to put away, and I have some things I need to list and get those out of here. And now the kids are working on organizing their rooms too. Well, you guys, it has pretty much been raining since I got back from Tennessee. And I mean, like, not a little bit of rain, like pouring, pounding like crazy. So I weeded this garden right after I filmed the last time I showed you, right when I got back. So it looked amazing. So now I'm gonna have to go back through and weed again and then just get it under control. I did want to give a shout out to this shirt company. I loved their shirts. They were so cute. I got it at the festival. Love my brood, and it's got the 3 little chicks. We're so, you know, like my 3 little chicks. I thought this was really cute because I always tell my kids when we're going through a parking lot or whatever, I always say, come on my flock, let's go. So I had to get this shirt. I'm gonna work on this. I thought I'd show you. We're working on building rabbit tractors. This one is definitely the way not to do it. We've learned a lot of lessons, but all the rabbits are happy and out today because they've been cooped up in the shop like for all this time because it's just been raining so hard. So I'm gonna work on getting this weeded here, and then I'm excited to be able to take you guys on a garden tour this week. You guys, I have to show you this. This is why we built these raised beds. I came out here the other day and I was like, something's missing. What is it? And realized it was a giant onion plant I had growing here. And I was like, well, what happened to the onion plant? So then I came out a little bit later and my leeks were gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, the voles are back. And then the dog decided that she wanted to catch the voles, but she did not catch the voles. She just dug all the rest of the plants out of here. So I've saved what I can. The ones that are in here look pretty sad. I'm gonna have to redo it, put in some more mulch. This is why we built the raised beds. If you are in my area and you're putting in a garden, I highly, 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 especially if you're putting in raised beds, recommend 1/4-inch hardwire cloth, not rabbit wire. This is not the 1/2-inch rabbit wire. This is 1/4-inch hardwire cloth on the bottoms of your beds so that you do not lose your vegetables that you worked so hard on. This onion plant that was stolen was 3 or maybe 4 years old. That was my perennialized spring onions that I harvest when there's still snow on the ground, and now it's gone. So, grr. When you're weeding, there are a lot of weeds that are lookalikes, and you might leave it because you're not sure what it is. So I thought I'd tell you real quick some of my quick tests to decide, is it a weed, is it a vegetable, is it an herb? Especially because we use a lot of herbs. My hands are disgusting. Makes holding the camera hard. So we allow for a lot of volunteers in the garden, and if it can be used, even if it's a useful weed, I may not want to pull it while I'm doing my actual weeding. And this being a new garden in these raised beds, they have a lot more weeds because everything got stirred up when we put it in. So my goal right now is to keep it, honestly, I'll probably keep the volunteers to a minimum. Out here, we'll only allow certain ones to grow here that the voles are especially fond of. And then, so I'm trying to keep up on weeding now so we don't end up having flowering weeds, and that will make the job easier as the years go on. So sometimes when I'm weeding, I find plants that look a lot like dill, and they also look a bit like feverfew, but then they also look like tansy. So this here, this looks like tansy. It looks like feverfew. It also looks like parsley a little bit, or celery or celeriac, which I have all of those growing in my garden. So how do you tell what it is? My favorite way, well, first of all, you can leave it and let it grow big. You'll have a definite answer at some point as the plant grows on. Or you can let it flower and hope you catch it in time before it goes to seeds. And then that's, you know, I mean, that takes up extra space in your growing beds. Or you can let it get just big enough. So these ones I've left in here in case they were feverfew, because I could put them in pots or whatever. But if you smell it, this has a very distinct smell. That's how I know that this is a tansy. And I remember that I had a very large tansy plant that got tucked somewhere away, and I didn't see it till it was too late. So yep, that's definitely tansy. Tansy is a very distinct smell. If you've never smelled it, I recommend finding it, identifying it, and then taking a smell for yourself. It doesn't take much for you to learn it really quick. So I guess it's kind of funny. I'm going to say this anyway. It's going to sound silly. I have trained myself to be able to tell what different herbs smell like. So every time I get them, even if I buy them in the store, I smell them. And that just trains your brain to know, like, oh, whoops, I grabbed a plant that I shouldn't have. It releases a scent, and it's just a good way to be able to weed quickly and know which plants you want to pull and which plants you might not want to pull. So something else I choose to do personally is I weed with no gloves on. The reason I do this is because herbs and weeds and vegetables and flowers, they all have a different texture. So if you train your fingers to know, like a vegetable is mostly a very delicate, soft, hydrated plant, and so when you feel it, it squishes very easily, whereas the native weeds and even the native herbs and stuff, they either are very strongly scented, so you'll know that very quickly because you'll have a tendency to be able to crush them easier using your fingers. You can just feel the texture differences. They are a lot tougher, they're harder to pull out, and I like to be able to get down in there and get all of the roots out, and I can do that a lot better with using my fingers. It's getting really hot out here, you guys. Here's my potato bed. This is before, this is after. I am so excited about this soil. So I've told you guys before, I neglected this garden all of last year basically because our weather was so crazy. And even though it's nuts and it's crazy with weeds and whatnot, the soil itself has been worked for about 6 or so years now, almost 7, 6 in this spot. And because of the no-till method and because of adding amazing compost over the years, it's so easy just to regain it. So I'm super excited. These potatoes are so healthy, and they just look amazing. Oh man, you guys, I have gotten a ton of weeding done today. I'm super excited. Right now I'm working on this bed behind me, and it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I can see moving forward there's probably some more weeds, but this is a flower bed back here, so I can't wait to see it and show you guys. It's gonna be so pretty. But this bed is a veggie bed. It's the last planted bed besides some rows of potatoes, but those are going to be easy that I've got to do. But I wanted to share something with you guys that's super exciting. I have been looking for about a year or so for a companion for Chico, our goat, our male goat. And I've been pretty picky because we had Sage, our wether, in with him, and he was supposed to be a companion. And Chico's not aggressive by any means, but he has horns, and Sage is really a little derpy. And basically what happened was that Chico pretty much started starving Sage, and Sage could only eat when Chico didn't want to, and Chico just turned into a big pig and wouldn't ever let him eat. So we had to move Sage out, and we had only kept Sage on our farm in order to be a companion for Chico. So I said, when we need to get another buck, he has to have horns. We have to be able to keep both of them safe. Goats do not really do very well on their own. They're herd animals. So Chico, fortunately, is in close proximity to my does, which I don't really want that for future. And we're working on putting in a new pen, which means that he's not going to be able to see them as much. So I am really excited to tell you guys that here in a little bit, a new buck is going to be coming to our farm. I'm really, really excited about him. I'm not a person who really cares a whole lot about registries or anything like that. We chose not to register ours, even though my goats do come from very good lines, and one of them was registered when I purchased her, and then the other one, her daughter, could be registered. I just haven't gone through that process, but this buck will be registered. He's so cute. His name is Ox, and I'll introduce you to him.
He is so pretty. Your silver one.
I love the colors on both of them, and I wanted something different.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Well, the next time you have silver babies.
Chico, be kind to your new friend.
We're just like demolishing that.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, the area that our goats are in has no green grass growing. It's like they keep it mowed down, the chickens. Look at his snow hill. Whee!
Let me get.
What you doing?
Opening the box.
My birthday might not be for another, what? Almost 2 and some months, yep. But I can't use my birthday present from my mom in August. I need it now. So she gave it to me early. Can you guess what's in the box? It's only fair to Tom and Sarah if I show off what's in my homestead living room. Some people put together their broad forks in the evening in the living room,